When you're looking at RC monster trucks, you can't overlook the Traxxas X-Maxx. Its radical design, massive size, brutal strength, and unmatched power firmly planted it into a league of its own. There's really nothing else quite like it, until now. The 10th scale Traxxas Maxx expertly packages the X-Maxx's innovative design elements into a lighter, more compact, more ferocious beast that is ready to take speed and strength to whole new levels. Extreme power, extreme durability, extreme fun. This is the foundation that the Maxx experience is built on. With a new Maxx platform that is smaller and lighter, Traxxas engineers took the speed and tuned it for even higher performance, while keeping the strength and durability. If you always felt the X-Maxx was just a tad too big, then this could be ideal. Along with a package of manuals, guides and a couple of tools to get you along your way, we have the standard TQI transmitter. Constructed of matte black plastic, the 2.4 GHz unit is pretty standard with most Traxxas models and is robust yet comfortable to hold. With some branding dotted about the unit, a cavity for your 4 AA sized batteries to be inserted into the bottom, and that nice large foam lined control wheel, the unit is exactly the same as one would receive with the larger X-Maxx, incorporating standard trim and adjustable dials as well as a switch for tuning 50-50 or 70-30 throttle control. On the rear you'll find a slot for adding a wireless control module, which is an additional purchase, used for displaying telemetry data directly on an accompanying Traxxas app, which I would highly recommend, even if only for keeping the truck up to date with the latest firmware. It's all about this though. Engineered to withstand extreme punishment and intense driving action, it really does look like a mini X-Maxx. Don't get me wrong, it's still well sized, but a lot more manageable when it comes to transporting the unit to and from your playground. On top of that, just like its bigger brother, it's still packed with some very clever features like self-righting ability, Traxxas stability management, convenient modular design, it's fully waterproof, and it has a clipless body mounting system, to name just a few. Available in several colours and sporting a snazzy body design, we even retain that clever latching mechanism to hold the body onto the chassis. There are no body clips used, so no parts to lose or misplace either. Instead, we find a partial roll cage that is mounted to the body, adding rigidity to the body as well as offering solid mounting points where it attaches to the chassis. Just like the X-Maxx, under the hood is a wide clip that slides under the front shock tower, while at the rear is a latch that grabs the rear shock tower and locks it into place. A proven design that should work just as well here. And when it comes to the chassis, we retain that 3-piece design with a high centre of gravity, which gives the design a mini X-Maxx look and feel, and should be as resilient if the same composites are employed. While the Maxx is based on the X-Maxx's design, it doesn't appear to share any actual parts in common with its namesake though. Everything is new and unique. When it comes to the layout, it's a pretty typical design with the main electronics down one side and space for the battery on the other. Located near the rear bulkhead is the motor and gear drive, which keeps the gear mesh constant. The 540XL motor has a nice linear power curve with plenty of power for a truck of this size. Like the X-Maxx, the innovative fixed gear mesh system precisely sets the gear mesh with fixed pins so you can focus on driving and having fun and never have to worry about gear mesh adjustment. Above this is a heatsink and fan unit to draw heat away and keep the motor as cool as possible too. Next to this we find the Villinion ESC, which comes terminated for one Traxxas ID plugged battery. You can run it on a 3S LiPo, but to enjoy the high performance that the powertrain can produce, you're going to want to run it on the more expensive single 4S batteries, designed specifically to fit the battery tray, which is on the opposite side to the electronics for better weight balancing. With 6.5mm bullet connectors to the motor, we otherwise find a heatsink and fan on top of the ESC helping to keep it cool. Keep an eye on these fans though, being plastic in construction, the blades have been known to break away with heavy bashing, so it may be an idea to look for stronger replacements. These work in tandem to deliver power to hardened steel differentials that are sealed and filled with heavyweight oil via an aluminum center drive shaft. Anyway, sticking with the electronics, next to the ESC we have a standard Traxxas receiver sealed within a water-resistant plastic receiver box, which is pretty much standard across Traxxas trucks in the range. Finally, placed right in the middle here and held down with a plastic center brace is the steering servo, which is the same size as the steering servo used on the giant X-Maxx. With 285 ounce-inches of torque, it has strength and power in reserve for fast response and incredible steering authority. Just like the X-Maxx, the Maxx's integrated shock towers form part of the chassis and produce a rigid, triangulated structure for secure mounting of the shocks and body. They also provide an authentic off-road look that fills in the wheel openings of the truck. Here we find the large GTX shocks, way larger than you would normally find on a car of this scale. The shock shafts move smoothly through the double X-ring seals for responsive dampening. Machined aluminum bodies are threaded to adjust ride height, while the lower spring retainers are captured by screws to keep them secure, even on the harshest landings. Again, all inspired from the success of the X-Maxx. The Maxx's oversized double wishbone suspension arms maintain proper suspension geometry throughout the entire range of travel. Double shear connections and extra thick steel upper and lower tyre bars provide incredible strength and impact resistance. Tough new composites further resist impact damage even in cold weather. Between these we find Traxxas telescoping splined drive shafts, which should provide for durable, smooth running performance. These extreme duty drive shafts maximize suspension travel and steering angles to radically extend the Maxx performance envelope. However, I do have some concerns as to why Traxxas opted to fit plastic drive shafts in such a powerful truck. Personally, I'll be looking to replace these with metal shafts, which are much better suited to the power running through the truck down to the wheels. Talking of the wheels, the 17mm hex mounts, again also frustratingly made of plastic, do mean that you can fit a wide range of 1/8 scale wheels over that 5mm axle. Although the stock wheels come with this adapter, which does feel a little bit of a fudge, so I'll most likely fit some 17mm hex hubs to get rid of these annoying spaces. The tyres themselves feature a unique tread pattern with multiple layers of biting edges for sure-footed traction on just about any surface. While on 1/10 scale standard 2.8-inch rims, they are larger than even the 2.8-inch Proline trenches. It's disappointing Traxxas chose to invent yet another tyre size instead of sticking with industry standard measurements. Even so, upon initial inspection, the truck truly does look and feel as tough as its bigger brother. With steel gear differentials, torque biasing center drive, and a shock absorbing cush drive, even down to the full contact seal bearings to keep out the grime and dirt, this seems a solid truck through and through. We even retain features like self-righting and Traxxas stability management too. Even though the Maxx is beefy in almost every way, I do want to change out the plastic drive shafts for metal alternatives. That should have been standard in a truck of this power in my opinion, but otherwise it's a super durable truck out of the box. If you're after a 10th scale basher, then this is definitely one to shortlist.